This week on Cartoon Dumpster Dive, we're covering the show Voltron, the Third Dimension. Hello, Joel.
Hello, Andrew.
We are in November.
We are, yes.
Not now. But when you're listening to this, listener, you'll be in November. We're actually in like October 30th, I'm pretty sure. Actually, I'm not pretty sure. I'm very sure. I can look at the date. It's October 30th. So spooky season is over. The sour, sweet winds have stopped blowing. And the Grinch night is over. He's done fucking with the Who's of Whoville. So we're back to your regularly scheduled programming of shit you don't remember very well.
Or shit you never knew about.
That's very true. But this episode, I was talking about this earlier with my wife. I was like, I feel like I'm cheating on this one because this is a super popular franchise. But this isn't a super popular version of this franchise.
It is I feel like any true, maybe not true Voltron fans, but I think most Voltron fans will say that this was probably a blemish on it. But then there would probably be some of them that will argue. Some people really enjoyed this, Andrew.
Yeah, I could see it. I honestly could. I have a lot of opinions about this show.
Oh, so
some may surprise you. Stay tuned to find out. But Joel, this particular episode was a request.
Yeah,
this
by
request
whom?
comes from Jason, last name redacted. He says, "Please review Voltron: The Third Dimension." Ha ha ha. It's interesting to say the least. I get Beast War vibes from it. Well, you're in luck, Jason, because I also got Beast War vibes from it.
Yeah.
But before Jason went through the website like most people do, cartoondumpsterdive.com. We have a request option right there, but you can reach us on all the social media outlets, but the website's the best one because that one goes straight to my email, and I check that email every day versus our social medias. A lot of fake podcast promoters will message me on Instagram and Twitter like, "Do you want to grow your business in like 40 days or offer us a discount code to be an ambassador for a very shitty coffee cup?" Those are always my favorite.
Okay.
It's like, do you wanna help us sponsor this shitty coffee cup made out of cardboard and fucking dreams of climate change? I'm like, no, not really. That sounds like a terrible product. And they don't even give it for free. This is a quick Cartoon Dumpster Dive advertising tip. You want us to advertise us something on this podcast, which is highly unlikely, you better give it to me for free. Otherwise, I'm not doing it. How can I trust your product if I have to pay you for it? Can't endorse that.
Yep.
But that's enough waffling around. Let's get into it. Let's review that theme song.
Let's hit it.
The safety of the galaxy has been threatened again. 5 space explorers and their 5 awesome lions are called upon to form Voltron. Keith, the leader, pilot of Black Lion. Allura, Princess of Aris, pilot of Blue Lion. Hunk, the strongman, pilot of Yellow Lion. Pidge, the computer expert, pilot of Green Lion. And Lance, the rebellious daredevil pilot of Red
Yeah, so that's basically
it's like
once again battle
It's a pretty normal Voltron episode. I kind of laugh every time they say awesome lions. Like they can't just say lions. Like they have to emphasize that it's awesome. It's like, come on, man.
Lions.
You don't have to try so hard to impress us. It's a robotic lion. Let it do the work.
Yeah.
It's
I
like
would
somebody going, "This is my awesome in-ground pool." Like, buddy, every in-ground pool is awesome. Let it sell itself.
You don't have to do much selling.
You don't
on
have,
this.
it's just you want to come to my pool? Absolutely, that sounds awesome.
I mean, they're giant robot lions. Like, what's not already awesome?
Yeah, we
about
know they're
that?
awesome. Like,
Yeah, come on, guy.
But I give it a 5. It's pretty average.
I was gonna give it a 5 as well.
Yeah, it's not getting me jazzed for it, and
but it's informative. You know the backstory. You're like, okay, quick recap, so you can jump in at any episode almost.
Yeah, Kevin Michael Richardson gets a lot of work out of this series.
Yes, he does.
He's the one who's narrating the voice, or voicing the narrator, I guess I should say.
Yeah, just the narration.
He's doing a bunch of characters in this show. But so let's get into it, Joel. How did this get made? I want to say it's going to be a pretty easy story.
It is.
They wanted to. Voltron is a legacy series. We've had Voltron for years. And they were like, well, but this is the second Voltron series. So they're like, let's just make another one.
It's actually, I think, the third in the list.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, I've been looking up the...
Were you a big Voltron guy growing up? You're a big mech guy. You love mechs. You love robots, especially.
I do. I'm not gonna lie. I did love Voltron growing up, and
I never got into Voltron growing up. I don't know what it was about it. Maybe we just didn't get that channel, but I didn't watch Voltron until the Netflix Voltron.
Well, so my experience with Voltron was I had an aunt who she had like satellite. So whenever we went over to her house, which was like on rare occasions, we got the really good like cartoon shows or the really good cartoon channels. And I remember like being able to watch original Voltron there, and yeah, so I love that. Didn't get to watch like all of it, but yeah, I loved Voltron. And this is I even remember watching this one. And
nice.
It was not
so
good.
Did you you said your aunt had satellite. Did your aunt have like a regular satellite dish? Or
no, it was like Direct TV. Like when Direct TV first became a thing.
My grandma, she lived up in the mountains and she had satellite, but it was like a giant government size satellite dish.
That's funny.
And so to change the channels on it, you had to put in like coordinates. And you could see it go like.
That's wild.
It was wild. So I was wondering if like, if she was the only one, she might have been. But I was just curious.
But yeah, so this show, it really is just they wanted to reboot this legacy. They wanted to say, hey, we want to introduce Voltron to a new generation of kids. Originally aired on September 12th, 1998, and ended last episode, February 19th, 2000. So
not a bad run.
Not a bad run. Ran for 2 seasons, total of 26 episodes. And this, like everyone's, if you have eyes, in your brain or on your face, eyes on your face, you can see the similarities between this Beast Wars and Reboot.
Yeah.
This really was just at this point, you're talking about 98 going into 2000. Beast Wars Reboot, they've made their mark on this industry, and it was just another variation of that style.
Okay.
I don't think it necessarily worked because they went with the big production company, Netta Digital Entertainment.
They did the other two, correct?
No.
Really? I thought they did.
No, it's just the style of how this is. Because really, if you try to look up Netta Digital, I doesn't show a lot of stuff that they actually did. I mean, kudos to them for being able to look like the other shows, I guess.
Yeah. Started in what is it? It says it started in founded in 1995, went out of business in 2000. So I wonder if Voltron's cancellation and this Netter Digital Entertainment shutting the doors, they probably go hand in hand, I imagine.
It probably. But really the development of this story, I can talk about that, was done by a guy, Mark Handler. And Mark Handler, he's been involved in Voltron since the beginning.
Okay.
If you go look at his history, he was a part of like the team that first brought Voltron from Japan over to the United States and helped sell that.
Okay.
So really,
yeah, that must have been real hard.
yeah. So it was just, a seasoned Voltron writer, seasoned Voltron person just wanted to revamp it for a new generation, and especially with this new style of animation that everyone seems to love, they thought it was just going to be a slam dunk, Andrew.
Yeah.
And
I did a little bit of research on my own. The show was actually canceled by Ted Kopler, the president of Voltron, rights owner, and World Events Productions. Despite the fact that this was at its time the top syndicated show in its market of boys between ages 13 to 21. So it's like, he must have just not liked it.
Must have.
Because if you have the president of Voltron is just like, shut it down. Why? Because I fucking said so.
Because I can't do it anymore with this show.
I can't do this. This sucks.
But yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I can't. That's kind of what I mean by cheating with these legacy ones. There's not a lot to them when it's a popular franchise that makes a bad show. It's just, Voltron has a lot of shows out there. Obviously, there's going to be at least one of these that's going to be, bad.
Yeah,
and
of course.
This is that one.
Yep. So, what about the voice cast? Because I know, there's one voice in there, or one voice actor that they had to replace.
A lot of people that we've discussed on the show had come back. Actually, I think every single person I'm about to name is somebody I have named in a previous series. So we have Neil Ross as Keith, Amalgamus, Droid, Kolak, Black Draco. BJ Ward is Princess Allura and Hagar. Billy West is Pidge. Queequeg, Judge, Armistice. Michael Bell is Lance, Corin Lano. Kevin Michael Richardson is Hunk, King Zarkon, and the narrator. Tim Curry is Prince Lothar and King Alfor. Tress MacNeille is Lafayette, Queen Ariella. Clancy Brown is Igor, Robot Maximus. And Brad Garrett is Bullmax 7.
Okay.
For their other works, we have Neil Ross is Codex narrator and Mass Effect. B.J. Ward is Scarlet in the 1985 G.I. Joe. Billy West is Hungry Larry in Star versus the Forces of Evil. Michael Bell is Razel in Soul Reaver 2. I think I said that right. Kevin Michael Richardson is Kamek in the Super Mario Brothers movie that's coming out next year. Tim Curry is Darth Sidious in Star Wars The Clone Wars.
Okay.
Tress MacNeille is Yang Chen in Avatar The Last Airbender. Clancy Brown is Shin Mao in Mao Mao, Heroes of Pure Heart. And Brad Garrett is Eeyore in the 2018 movie Christopher Robin. So you got a pretty good voice cast, and honestly, they're bringing, as they do, these guys are voice actors for a reason. They bring their A game to the show pretty well.
Yeah.
Honestly, really the humor and the overall look of the show is kind of what takes me out of the show. Like, if you had showed me this and like somebody was like, hey, check out this PS1 game about Voltron, I'd be like, that looks pretty cool. But like, to look at that like a show, it just is. It is harder on the eyes than Reboot or Beast Wars.
So here's my question, Andrew.
Okay.
Because you know I'm the first person to tell you I hate this look of animation. Like, you know, I hated Reboot for that reason.
Right.
Wasn't the biggest fan of Beast Wars. Still watched it because it was Transformers. But do you think if you watched this as a, you know, young a kid,
right,
would you
would
like
I
it?
enjoy it
Back in 98?
I feel like yes.
Okay.
I feel like if I watched it back when I was actually like age appropriate, probably. But only if I was like 8. Like 8 to 10. I would enjoy it. But once I hit like 11, 12, 13, I wouldn't have cared for it. Because that's when that's when rough CGI really started to fall off for me. And like, I was like, this is hard to look at. I don't want to put forth the effort in trying to like it.
Okay. All right.
Why? Are you just trying to legitimize that you liked it as a kid?
No, maybe that's what it is.
you just like, okay, good.
My
soul is safe.
I still did not like this as a kid.
As a child? Yeah, because you do not like these types of shows. Like,
hate them.
They make sense for the time that they're in. You have to crawl before you can walk, so of course there's going to be some badly animated CGI shows out there. This I will credit for this one where credit is due. Kind of smart to set most of it in space.
Yeah.
Don't have to render a lot of space.
Yeah, very, very true. But yeah, I hate
Tim Curry is having the time of his fucking life voicing Prince Zarkon or whichever one he is. That was another thing I think that turns me off of Voltron a lot, is like a lot of it sounds like somebody just made up all the names on the spot oh, he's Prince Lotor. It's just like, yeah, it's Lotor and Zarkon and Bumblebluss and
then Keith.
Keith. And you're just like, the fuck? I
Like,
did
what-
learn that this was actually supposed to be set 5 years after the original Voltron,
Correct, yeah.
which is why what is his name? Shiro? The original pilot of the Black Lion, he's not in it because, spoilers, every iteration of Voltron he's in, he gets dead.
Yep.
And they didn't make a lot of changes. According to the fandoms, they ignore episode 53 and 74.
Of this.
So for you
No.
Voltron fans, let me know what it is they ignored. But as I was watching it, you have 90s shows have this like architect of super evil guy has two goofy goons, and it never works for me. I just like what was it? In Reboot they had Hack and Slash. They were the Goober Goons. And it's just like
Yeah.
I want if you're gonna have a super menacing villain, have him have some like personality matching henchmen, because it's just like blibbity blobbity, them darn Voltrons got me again. And like Prince Lotor's like, I'll rip your heart out if you fail me again. They're like, boo. I'm sorry. Boo. You're like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, it was that time they just loved doing that. You had the henchmen's, the character henchmen's.
Another thing I noticed about this show, and you watched a few episodes yourself, let me see if you noticed this too. Every chance they took to pan the camera away or block their mouths from moving while they're talking, like if they could put something in front of their mouths to where they didn't have to animate them moving their mouths, they'd do it. And it had a lot to do with when the human characters, when their faces are in motion, it is some uncanny valley nonsense. It is horrifying to look at. It's actually kind of appropriate we did this one after Halloween, because it's a little spooky the way these humans look. It's just like, it's like a skin. They're like skinwalkers, you know, like they're just like wearing your dad's skin, and he's like, "Hello, Joe." You're like, "You're not my dad."
Oh man, yeah, I didn't pick up on the blocking of the mouths, but I almost kind of want to just go back and skim through different sections and try to pick up on that now.
So there wasn't a lot. You can like kind of poke fun of these shows sitting in your high horse in 2022 like we do. But I want to say that, you know what, they probably did put some effort into it. One of the things that they did were all the characters were motion captured in-house. A separate actor and actress was used for each character, so they would walk and move in the same way from episode to episode. And one of the supervising animators were a black belt in Taekwondo to help with the fighting scenes and mocapping them as well. So there was effort. You have to give them credit where credit is due. It's way harder to judge 2D animation for being cheap and lazy like Deke Entertainment, because that technology, for the most part, is still the same way we do it now, we
Yeah.
may use different software programs, but still it's like people drawing,
Yeah.
24 frames to make a second. But like with CGI, you have to render models. You're limited by the literal 90s technology of the time. And so that matters more. So like when I say like when I'm like, yeah, this shit looks terrible, but yeah, it looked terrible. You only had like 25 gigs of RAM, or not 25 gigs, that'd be amazing. Like 25 bytes of RAM in your computer at any given time. So,
Yep.
what are you going to do?
No, I mean, for its time, it's, it's probably pretty good. And
Yeah, I mean, it was probably too. If you think about it, it might have been too good, and that's why they went bankrupt. They spent too much money and didn't get enough revenue.
probably it did win a daytime Emmy, but but it was for outstanding sound editing. So
that's like what is it? The first Suicide Squad won it's an Oscar-winning movie, but it won it for like costume design. And they're like, okay, you won one, but you know that doesn't count.
Like,
you
come
know
on.
it.
Come on. Yeah.
So, yeah, moving right along. Let's go to your new reoccurring segment, reviews that form the head and reviews that are left off dead.
All right.
Not even a good one. I felt like that was a good one.
It was a good one.
It was average, I guess. I don't want to like toot my own horn too much.
All right, Andrew. So, believe it or not, I can't really find a review on this cartoon.
Oh, at all?
At all. Like, the normal places I might go look, IMDb, all of those. Can't do it. Now, I could go to like YouTube, go through all the comments on like the videos that you can find on YouTube.
Right.
But I'm not going to do that. But instead, I stumbled upon a review for the Voltron the Third Dimension original series soundtrack on Amazon.
Okay, that works. It did win a daytime Emmy for sound music, so let's hear it.
It's a 4 out of 5 review by Greg.
Okay.
Titled Underrated Like the Television Series.
Oh, is that the whole review?
No.
Okay.
No, that's just the title of it, but it's a good one. Voltron the Third Dimension, often abbreviated as V3D by diehard Voltron fans, is a late 1990s animated television series that is a quasi-sequel to the classic 1980 series Voltron Defenders of the Universe, featuring computer animation of a style and quality that was typically of the era. V3D has had a altogether different look and feel than the 80s series, and as a result, this series wasn't genuinely well liked by viewers of the previous series. Take on its own, V3D isn't a bad show. It's entertaining. The same can be said of its soundtrack. The V3D soundtrack is more muted and less memorable than its 80s era predecessor, but it's a good listen. The feel of many tracks are somewhat reminiscent of Babylon 5, and I mean that in a good way. Voltron the Third Dimension, both the television program and its soundtrack, is better than most of its old school fans give it credit for. Enthusiasts of 90s era computer animated programming like Beast Wars will like this.
That's probably true, that
Yeah.
last sentence.
Yeah.
If you like Beast Wars, you'll probably like this. You have questionable taste, but you will like it.
Man, I feel like
I
this.
also don't think this show is underrated. I think it's very appropriately rated as not good.
Yep, exactly.
It's
Yeah.
it is hard to look at.
Well, there was a reason why the person who holds the license to this show when it was number one, when it was airing, was just like, no, we are no longer
pull
doing
it.
this.
That part alone is crazy. Like if you showed like Walt Disney like a Mickey Mouse cartoon, he was like, that's terrible. Take it off the TV right now. What have you done?
You know, I like to imagine he was at his like beautiful home with his grandkid, and his grandkid was actually watching this, and he was just like, oh, what is this, like, piece of crap? And he's like, man, what company would dare put their name on something that bad? And then he sees his company's name.
Yeah.
And he's just like, oh. He's like, no.
Get me my office right now.
Ah. But yeah, that's funny.
I also, another thing, he mentioned Babylon 5. That was a Netter Digital Entertainment show as well.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
that makes sense. But I believe that's pretty much Voltron, the third dimension, wouldn't you say? You got any closing thoughts on it, Joel?
No, don't watch it. That's it.
Don't. Your closing thoughts lately have just been don't watch it.
Haven't found one that I think is worth a watch yet. I'll let you know.
I mean, it's fair. I think if you're a very big Voltron fan, you should watch it. Because I feel like some people are big enough fans of things that they can ignore, like, the presentation.
Yeah.
I'm not a strong enough fan of anything like that, but I know that there are people that are like, I don't care what this looks like. I love this franchise more than life. Star Wars is a really great example of people who are like, I will like anything that Star Wars makes. I don't care how bad it is.
Yeah.
Or the MCU, really. I mean,
Yeah.
they've gotten to that point too. Like, there are some real shitty Marvel movies that get hard defense from the fandom. And you're not wrong. You like what you like, but objectively, this is terrible. So
When the majority of people is just like, this is awful, it actually means something.
It can be awful, but you're allowed to like awful things in reason. I do not want that taken out of context. It's like, oh, sweet. Andrew from Cartoon Dumpster Dive said we can be racist. Like, that's not what I said.
There's that one dude who, as soon as you said that, he threw off his headset and he's like, yes,
time to commit some hate crimes.
He's like, Andrew said it's okay. Oh, man.
But yeah, I believe that wraps up Voltron, the Third Dimension. Thank you again, Jason, for requesting this from the website. If you'd like to send a request of your own for something you'd like to cover, you can go to cartoondumpsterdive.com. We have a shop there if you want a shirt. You can reach us on Twitter at CartoonDD. We have a Facebook, an Instagram, and a TikTok, all Cartoon Dumpster Dive. If you'd like to send us a good old-fashioned email, you can send that to cartoondumpsterdive@gmail.com. And, of course, we always appreciate a 5-star review on the podcasting platform of your choice. It always helps out the show, gets more people to listen. Tell your friends, tell your enemies. We'll form a Voltron of anti-nostalgia yet. Have a great rest of your week.
See ya.
Billy West. Billy West is lesser cousin. Oh, yeah, that's way better.
This has been a Lughole podcast.